Alright, welcome to Anime Review, episode number 3. Well, we're discussing 5 and 6 of the series, and means we are technically halfway through this particular season, even though it came over a decade ago. So, in these 2 episodes, well, the hero himself does reunite with the Demon Queen, where they start, basically, at one point calling her flabby, and he's like, I've been in calisthenics, so she's working out. And then of course he uses teleport to get around her. It's like I don't have my perfume on. It's like, you're pretty as you are. And then of course they start dancing, and once again they're about to kiss. But at least this time will not be interrupted. This time it's because the music stopped. And he's like, where have you been the past year? Have you never seen before? You mean those picture things you sent? Yeah. And all the stuff that basically they were saying about him, yeah, it's all true. He was offered all that stuff, but it's like he's faithful to her. And basically the whole thing with him is building up toward a climactic battle that happens in episode 6, where he's been infiltrating the Gateway City and trying to liberate it from these Crusade of the Holy Key, which drive him nuts. And he successfully got him to leave. Oh yeah, also we find that also in these episodes, the female knight finds out the Crimson Scholar is in fact Demon Queen. Which of course basically she forgave her, and also because she kind of already knew because the hero told her. Of course she is not telling the fact that she's madly in love with him. Also when the whole thing with the hero show up in her bedroom, yeah, she brought out the body pillow. Yes, and prior to that, the sisters made her a gift. They made her a doll of the hero because she misses him. And as for the head maid, made her a special apron with the symbol of her perfume. How nice. And they put her as glasses lady. Yes, seriously. So then, of course, basically, I think it's like the Southern Kingdom and the Winter Kingdom try and launch all out assault on this island, which is occupied by the demons. But the general is the Ice General. It's who runs it. So they try, and then they're basically pulled back because of giant squids. I'm like, damn, giant squids. So then, of course, the Demon Queen herself comes to them, of course, as the Crimson Scholar. Of course, she had already provided them basically a lot of food, helped the country tremendously. So she comes with an ingenious plan. Of course, also the female knight herself is out there too as their timber commander. He even call her General. At one point, they call her Princess General because, of course, she's like a princess. And also the fact that the old man who was part of the hero's party still comments basically on her chest size. And she's like, do you want me to kill you? Because she can't stand him for poking fun of her chest size. Yeah. Yeah, then of course, basically, they come up with the ingenious idea, and this is a really cool idea, using the ice combined with sea salt to harden the ice and put this like wooden beam or something across it, just so they can walk across the water and also keep an eye for the giant squids. They don't call them that here, but that's technically what they are, giant squids. And before, they lost about a couple thousand troops and a lot of warships. Here they lost 500. It was a Pathwa victory. It's basically a big victory, but a bit hollow. Now, but it's a victory with a cost. That's kind of what it was, where the first time I kind of heard about this particular term was actually in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where off-screen, Worf and the Klingons decided to blow up a shipping yard. While, of course, DS9 was taken by the forces of the Dominion and the Cardassians. This happened at the end of Season 5 for the show. In one of the best battles of the whole series. Probably the first one the series has since the beginning of Season 4. But that's something else altogether. So, yeah, and then of course they take the beachhead, they go through 2 defenses, and then of course it's revealed, oh yeah, so the Demon Force at this point is numbered 8,000, and the troops are basically 10,000. But the thing is, at this point, the hero shows up because part of the plan to get those troops out of there. And of course, get the demon troops to flee, but that doesn't exactly happen. Which a combined force of 10,000. And it gives me forwards demon. Oh no, it's actually the Crusade which they hold the gateway city, which with them fleeing, they kind of proclaim they kind of start a new country, where it's basically just a peaceful human demon country. How nice, good for that. Yeah, and then of course, basically, where when the hero shows up, the female knight, the first thing she does is tackle him. I saw this, I'm like, wow, this reminds me a lot of, even though the series came out like about a decade after this episode, the whole thing of like the female knight tackling the lead character like this, especially she's not the female lead, is actually the demon queen. Yeah, it's like what Lilia did in the final episode of Vermilion Gold. So, and also she uses his abilities his skills to defeat the Ice General, which that occasionally happens, where a woman who likes the guy steals his moves. It should be the Ice General, and of course there's a victory. And in the course, basically, we have where the hero and the demon queen just hang out with each other, and then they have this funny moment where the female knight shows up with a freaking boar, just to, well, as an adult's term, block them. Yeah. But otherwise, though, great 2 episodes. I gotta admit, basically, I like 3 and 4. Felt like not a lot happened. These 2 episodes felt like a lot happened. Also, when they took the island, they kind of basically, the king himself had the current Winter King, because the previous one died in the previous battle. This is a new one. Winter first became the Winter King, and he kind of took the island back for himself because the Southern Kingdom basically, I think they would, of course, they refer to his father as a coward, which basically he's about to attack him, but look at his father holding him back because basically even he knew that basically he was right. Yeah, and of course we're celebrating, and of course where the Crimson Scholar, aka Demon Queen, and the female knight wear these nice, cool, nice, pretty dresses, and of course honorary titles. And of course, it was funny over them. And the hero basically is like creative his own strength. And of course, later on, that's the whole thing with the Demon Queen Hearts hang out with him. But yeah, otherwise though, great 2 episodes. And really, and this feels like basically you finished watching episode 6. That feels like it could have been like a final episode, but we're only halfway through. Really? That's only the halfway point of the series? Yeah, even though it feels like basically an ending. But yeah, we have 6 more to go. But yeah, so that's pretty much it to the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, notifications. I thought I'd have time for more, but that's not going to be tonight. So, tomorrow I'll cap this off and start up Slayers next. Okay? So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, notifications. Okay, next video. Bye.